A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to our Tib Nabawi program. And just to recap, what we discussed yesterday in our previous program was what Tib Nabawi is and how important health is in our religion, in Islam. What does Islam say about our health? We also discussed was Tib discovered by doctors, or was there a different source of understanding, gaining this knowledge? We discussed about that as well. And we also discussed about health in the modern age. How is our health improving or deteriorating? So these were some of the aspects which we had touched on, and now we will expand on this topic with our most honorable guest, Molana Sayyid Ali Raza John Kazmi. He's attending us from Australia at the moment, and he will be, inshallah, continuing this program with us. Assalamu alaikum, Molana. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, thank you. How about you? You're right?
Alhamdulillah, I'm okay. It was a very interesting program. We discussed the last session that we had. So I would like to continue on from what we had discussed in the last program. So if I start my question with this. We have some people, as you understand, in our community where sometimes they are not bothered to treat their illnesses. They say it will either heal by itself, or they have an idea or a concept that maybe Allah will heal it in its own time. Should we treat our disease, or should we leave it on Allah without doing anything? What is your opinion, and what does the religion say about this?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Bari al-Khalaiq ajma'in. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi tayyibin tahirin. Brother, the question that you pose here is about, like, should we treat our disease or not? First of all, if you look at the Islamic scripture and the method of Ahlebait and the method of Rasulullah and the method of all the prophets, was that they used to go and try do something in order to heal their disease. It doesn't matter, be it go and use the medicine, go and use a herb, go and you start reciting a dua, whatever. You know, like there is a hadith in Baharul Anwar. It's saying, in the Nabiyyam min al-Anbiya'i marad, that one of the prophet, he got ill. فقال, and he said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لا أتداوي حتى يكون الذي أمرضني هو الذي يشفيني. That the prophet was a prophet, and he said, I'm not going to be curing myself until and unless he's going to heal me. One who gave me this disease, he's going to cure me. Means Allah will cure me. فَأَوْحَى اللَّهُ تَعَالَى إِلَيْهِ لَا أَشْفِيكَ حَتَّى تَتَدَاوِي فَإِنَّ الشَّفَاءَ مِنِّي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed that I am not going to heal and cure you until and unless you will try and get the medicine and try to heal yourself. So healing is, you can say, one of the wajibat, where people came to Prophet saying, again, this is another hadith saying, Ya Rasulullah, ala natadavi. Oh Prophet, shouldn't we stop healing ourselves? Shouldn't we stop going toward the medicine and healing and cure? So the Prophet, peace be upon him, say, Naam ya ibadallah, tadavu. No, yes, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, yes, go for the treatment. Go in order to cure yourself. Then Prophet explains, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَمْ يَضَعْ دَاءَ إِلَّا وَضَعَ لَهُ شَفَاءَ وَدَوَاءَ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not create any type of disease, did not create any type of illness, did not create any type of pain unless but he created a treatment for it. It means, according to Islamic theory, all the diseases can be cured. There is no disease which cannot be cured. All the diseases, be it cancer, be it diabetes, be it, different type of diseases, even AIDS, all the diseases can be cured. According to this word of Rasulullah, there is no disease, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created a cure, a healing process for it. Because as we know, there's another hadith before we go further on. This is a bracket, but this is a hadith which I'm mentioning just in a bracket, where a person came to Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam, and Imam looked at him and he says, Ya Jurayri, ara lawnuka qad. Imam alayhi salatu wassalam says that I can see your face, color of face has changed. What kind of diseases you have? Abika bawasir. Do you have this illness of bawasir, which is called hemorrhoid? Then qultu na'am. This person says, yes, ya ibn Rasulullah, I have this diseases of hemorrhoid. And وَأَسَأَلَ اللَّهَ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ أَنْ لَا يُحْرَمَنِ الْأَجْرِ. And then he says to Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, since I'm ill, obviously, according to the hadith of Rasulullah, that every ill person will get a reward. I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should not deprive me from the ajr and reward of a person who is ill and he is becoming patient. At that time, Imam told him, أَفَلَا أَصِفُ لَكَ دَوَاء. Didn't I prescribe a medicine to you? فَقُلْت. And this person says, Jurayri says, يَبْنَ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهِ لَقَدْ عَالَجْتُهُ بِأَكْثَرٍ مِّنْ أَلْفِ دَوَاءٍ فَمَا انْتَفَعَتْ بِشَيْءٍ. He says to Imam, I've used 1,000 different medicine, but I was not cured at all. And my hemorrhoid and my diseases is not being cured after using 1,000 diseases. At that time, Imam, I'm not mentioning how to cure this disease because that hadith is long. Inshallah, some other time you'll be able to discuss about this disease and how to be cured in the Islamic medicine, what is going to be suggested for it. But the main sentence which I wanted to bring you here, at that time, Imam says, وَيْحَكَ يَا جُرَيْدِ. Woe to you, O Juraydi. فَإِنِّي طَبِيبُ الْأَطِبَّاءِ. I am the doctor of all the doctors. وَرَأْسُ الْعُلَمَاءِ. And I am the head of all the knowledgeable people. وَرَئِيسُ الْحُكَمَاءِ. And I am the leader of all the people of wisdom. وَمَعْدِنُ الْفُقَهَاءِ. And I am the mind of fuqaha and going depth in the knowledge in the Islam and in fiqh. So the main reason I mentioned this hadith is that we have the method to cure all the diseases, but the problem is where to go, what type of doctor to use. And the best doctors are Ahlebait alayhi salatu wassalam.
MashaAllah. So from shortening what you said, summarizing, it is wajib on us that we should cure ourselves or find a cure and work on that, make an effort to heal ourselves, and Allah expects that from us. Our religion expects this from us, that when we are sick, we should find the cure for that sickness, and hence this is part of Islam. So, would you say if someone who doesn't do this, do you think he or she is committing a sin?
Because as far as it's related to the going for healing, and this is not the only hadith that I'm mentioning. There are so many ahadith. There's another hadith in Tuhf al-Uqul where Imam al-Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, it has been quoted from our third Imam al-Hussein, where he says, as long as you are alive, try to heal your illnesses. Means don't leave your illnesses. Oh, this disease is going to be killing me. I'm not going to be. This is a disease which will lead all the people to death, and definitely I will be going to death. I will be stopping. Means I'll get disappointed. No, because obviously if you see why people are not curing themselves, they will be either because of they are disappointed, and disappointed again, al-yas, and getting disappointed from Rahman, the blessing of Allah, is again second largest sin, if you see, because he's been disappointed.
Yes.
And after shirk, yes, and the disappointment is the second largest sin. And if he's not treating, if he's thinking that Allah will treat him, Allah has already told him, if you're not going to go and make your effort, I'm not going to cure you. And then again, he's not curing himself because of the misconception that he has in the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will gives him by asbab, by means, and he's not gonna, he cannot take everything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly. So obviously if that concept is there, disappointment, that is obviously sin. If that concept is not there, there's again a misconception about the method of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So as we can summarize, if we do not treat ourselves or find a treatment, then on the day of judgment we will be asked as to why we kept ourselves sick when Allah had provided cures for whatever sickness we could be afflicted with.
Sure.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's very nicely you've clarified that this is part of our religion is to be healthy, and if we do fall sick, we should look for a cure. So moving on, so let's go on a specific disease so you can give us an example. What is suggested in Islamic medicine related to diabetes? As you know, most of our community people from the background we come from, they are afflicted with this illness which is called diabetes. So would you be able to touch something, aspects on this?
Yeah. Brother, when it comes to the diabetes, and since we know most of the people know that our pancreas are not functioning or not functioning properly, and that insulin, which has been either not being produced by pancreas, or that insulin is being produced but it is not effective, doesn't matter, be it type 1 or type 2. All the diabetes can be treated, or can be at least controlled by some of the medicine which has been suggested in Islamic medicine. And one of them in starting is a medicine called Adasul Mulk, and this can reduce the sugar level in the blood, and which has been affected on many people. And many people who came and they were prescribed by Islamic doctors, and they started using, and gradually their sugar level, their diabetes was either cured or it was under control. This is one of them, which is called Adasul Mulk. And there is another medicine which is very, very powerful, which has two names. Obviously, it is called Murakkabe Chahar, means Murakkab 4, which is called Murakkab 4 as well, and it is called Habbul Balsan as well. It has two names, obviously. And this medicine should be used by people and for at least 2 months, and this is the second one. The first one is Adasul Mulk, and the second one is Murakkab 4, which is Habbul Balsan, and the third one is the Sawiq of oat. What is sawiq actually? Sawiq is actually oats flour, which has been with its fiber and everything, which has been cooked in a specific way, and it has been created sawiq. And even if you don't have sawiq, the person who is having diabetes, who has this condition of diabetes, he can start using oats bread all the time for his breakfast, for his lunch, for his dinner, whatever. He's started using the oats bread, which is very good, because oat itself is very good in reducing the sugar level. And with that oat bread, if he's using the oats sawiq, there are different types of sawiq we have in Islamic medicine. We have sawiq of oats, sawiq of wheat, sawiq of different other stuff, sawiq of sinjid, and all these things. So one of them, which is very useful for those people who are struggling with diabetes, is sawiq of oat, and oats bread itself is very good to use.
So this would bring a cure to the diabetes, will it eliminate them from the sickness?
All these things, because when we are talking about diabetes and their cure, is there obviously, first of all, people in general medicine, the insulin or what they are being using is not curing their diabetes. It's just a way to control their diabetes. If one of these, like I mentioned, three things, Adasul Murakkab 4 and Sawiq, if at least one of them is being used by any patient, like example, let's say Adasul Mulk is the first one which I mentioned. If they start using this, their diabetes will be under control. I mean, they're not going to be needing after a few months, obviously, and there's a whole process, and obviously they should be using it under the supervision of a doctor, an Islamic doctor, and obviously asking their GP as well. So when it comes to Adasul Mulk, is one of those things which can reduce the sugar level. But if all these four things are used for, you can say, at least 2 to 3 months, definitely their sugar level will reach to a level that is going to be stable, and their sugar, they are not going to be needing to use any other medicine. So in simple word, means their diabetes will be cured after it.
But they have to follow a certain regime, I assume.
Exactly, yeah. Because obviously people who are having I just mentioned three things, and for diabetic patient, there are different kind of things which are being told to them what to do, what not to do. But these are four, you can say, three main thing, or we can say three main suggestion which are given to them all the time. And
Okay.
if they use this, and obviously they might be using. They shouldn't be going in extreme of using sugar and all these things. And obviously after that they are not going to be, as we mentioned in first program, they are not going to be using white sugar at all. It's going to be poison for them. If they are going to be using, they're going to be using only the brown sugar, which is made up of sugar cane, not anything else.
So, just to ask, clarify, could we heal the organs as well? For example, you said that the pancreas itself is maybe not effectively producing insulin. So if it's not producing insulin, there is a defect in the organ itself. With these medicines, is there a possibility of healing the organ itself, that it can
Exactly, yeah.
function?
Yes, yes, why not? There were many people, and those people who I've noticed and who I've seen myself, and and who were. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Oh yeah. We have noticed many people who are having like problem in their different diseases, like you were saying, organ, be it the pancreas, or any they are having problem in different glands, like there's a problem in their liver, or any part of their body where they're having problem, and or like let's say their the blood is not being produced, or any type, like their heart veins are blocked, the heart is not functioning, heart is weak, and I've already seen many witnesses where these people were cured, and
So you
that
have
part of that organ started functioning properly.
Sorry for cutting you. So you have seen it with your own eyes. If someone has utilized Tib Nabawi, the treatment from our Ahlebait, and there has been significant improvement in their lives.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. It depends on the person's, obviously, what he has been prescribed and how he is using. Alhamdulillah, like I'm in Australia. Last year when I came to Australia and I went to Perth, and I met a person, his mother had a cancer of ovary, and they came to Mashhad and they got those medicine from Mashhad, from my brother, and they got some duas as well, and nusqa and dua and dawa, obviously, and both were given by Ahlebait alayhi salatu wassalam, and they started using. And when on Muharram I went there, and that Sayyid, he met me and he told me, alhamdulillah, he showed me the reports 3 months before and the reports after 3 months, and the doctor was surprised as well here. Australian doctor was saying there's no trace of any type of cancer, and she was cured. And while one of those hardest disease and one of those widespread disease is cancer, but she was cured by Tibb Ahlul Bayt and dua of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam.
MashaAllah, subhanallah. So it's nice to hear stories like these, incidents like these, where we can see that the source of our ilm, our knowledge, is from Allah and His chosen people that He has chosen to give the ilm through. Moving on, you've discussed about diabetes. What about kidney problems, dialysis, and these kind of issues? Can that be treated by our Tibb Nabawi?
When it comes to the kidney, and obviously we are talking about that, not kidney generally, we're just talking about kidney dialysis. And if you talk about kidney stone and all these things, hopefully if I have time, I will try to talk about that as well. But today we'll just talk about kidney dialysis, where their kidney is not functioning properly and they are going to the hospital and their kidney is being washed, by machines and all these things, which is called obviously kidney dialysis. So for those people, and actually if those people who are hearing me and they don't really need to go and get any type of medicine, I will just tell them a simple formula which they can apply and they can see the result. And for this specific kidney dialysis, alhamdulillah, there were a few people who came and who called actually, and we told them, and they started doing and using this, and their kidney started functioning very well. It's a very simple formula. And it has two elements only. Number one is walnut, obviously. The walnut, which is very normal thing. Everybody can get it from anywhere, from any store. And second thing is ajwain, which is called in English ajwain as well, which is called in Urdu ajwain as well. These get both of these things, walnut and ajwain, equally. For example, if you are getting, 500 gram of walnut, get 500 gram of ajwain as well. And grind them both separately, because grinding walnut is a bit hard because it contains oil as well. So grind them separately and then mix them. And this person should be eating 2 to 4 spoons a day, a tablespoon a day for his disease. It means 2 spoons at morning, 2 spoons at night, 4 spoons a day, or 1 spoon at morning, 1 spoon at night. And from just this simple formula of Ahlebait alayhi salatu wasalam, there were many people who, after using this, they never needed to go to kidney dialysis at all after it. And that's
MashaAllah.
the simplicity and simple formula of Ahlebait alayhi salatu wasalam.
Alhamdulillah. So this is for anyone who has kidney dialysis problem. There is a cure that is available. Yes, brother, you were saying.
And apart from this one, there are 2 more things as well which are good, and which I mentioned on the top, Murakkab 4, which is called Habbul Balsan. And surprisingly, this is one of those medicines of Ahlebait alayhi salatu wasalam, which is very powerful. As I mentioned, it is used for diabetes patient as well. And in hadith, it can cure more than 20 to 40 diseases. Just one Murakkab 4, which is called Murakkab 4 or Habbul Balsan. And in order to for a kidney function, this is one of those medicines which will make that person which will make his kidney to function properly as well. This is the second thing. The first one is the most important thing, which I already mentioned. Anybody can use and make this formula at his home as well. And Murakkab 4 is obviously a complicated medicine which they should acquire from somewhere. And the third thing, which we can find in hadith as well, is hijama of shin, behind your leg, obviously, below your knees, behind your leg, the part which is called a shin. That is the place where hijama should be done. And there's a hadith that diseases of kidney can be cured by hijama of shin. And now somebody might be asking that what does hijama means? Hijama is obviously what we call it in English cupping, that many people, they do it on their back, on different part of their bodies. And in Islamic medicine, we have 7 to 8 different types of hijama. One of those cupping is to do it in your feet or on your leg, on your back, in different type. And one of those hijama, which is very good for your kidney, is hijamat to be done on the shin. And that is to cure different types of diseases related to kidney.
So when you say hijama, you mean both types of hijama, dry hijama and the bloodletting hijama. Am I correct?
No, but when we talk about in Islamic medicine, when we talk about hijama, it's just blood hijama. The dry hijama is there, people are doing it, and it has some benefits. But in a hadith, we don't find dry hijama. Actually, when you're doing wet hijama in Tibb Islami, in Tibb Nabawi, when you're doing wet hijama, automatically dry hijama is happening for probably, you can say, 30 to 40 minute dry hijama is happening. But the main target is that this blood should be coming out of his feet or any part of body that that dry hijama should end up to wet hijama definitely.
This just to add on to this hijama thing, because I have my own personal question on this. You have the leech kind of therapy Is that also considered as hijama, or is that separate from hijama itself?
No, again, that is one of those traditional medicines which has been used in subcontinent, in India, in Pakistan, in Iran, maybe in China, I don't know, in Chinese medicine. But these obviously these leech healing, where their little worm is sucking all the blood. That is a type of traditional healing, but it is not counted as hijama.
Aha. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Moving on to the other question I have is about pregnancy. So, as our community, we have sisters that will be going through one of the important life stages of being pregnant and carrying a baby, a fetus, for 9 months. Here in UK, and I think even in the Asian subcontinent, they recommend for them to eat folic acid and iron tablets or these kind of things, so that there is no deficiency. What is your opinion on this? How does Islam look at these kind of suggestions given by the doctors or whoever they are that recommend these things to our sisters?
In Islamic medicine, when we talk about the iron deficiency and all these things, there is one of those. We have 10 murakkabat, which are one of those. You can say all the medicine are powerful. One of those, famous one are the 10 different medicine murakkabat. They are called murakkab 1, 2, 3, murakkab 5, 10, going all the way till 10. One of them is murakkab 6. Is called the iron medicine as well, which is called, which we call it in Farsi as qurse khoon as well, which is called as tablet of blood, tablet for blood, and which is very powerful medicine in Islamic medicine, and it is so powerful it can cure people who are having thalassemia and who are having deficiency in iron, and even those people who have a hole in their hole in their heart, this produces the blood so much. The amount of blood which is being produced by this medicine is so much that people who have hole in their heart can be treated by this medicine as well. So it's a very powerful medicine. And for those people, those ladies who are planning for pregnancy, many in Islamic medicine, it is suggested for them to start using this qurse khoon, or you can say murakkab 6, for at least a month. So they're not going to be having deficiency when they are pregnant. And and inshallah, some other time, Brother Hassan, we will start talking about pregnancy and how to get prepared for pregnancy, and what to eat, what is good for men to eat and what is good for the ladies to eat. And one of them is to eat sawiq. The husband and wife, both of them should be eating sawiq at least from 1 to 2 months before pregnancy. When they're planning to get pregnant and having child, definitely they should be eating 1 to 2 months sawiq, which is very good. And after pregnancy, the woman also should be eating sawiq. And during pregnancy, it's very good. Why? Because sawiq is one of those powerful, you can say, and at the same time simple formula of Ahlebait ﷺ, that it will keep the little baby which is about to be born away from all type of diseases, even those diseases which happen because of marrying the cousins, marrying people who are very near relative to you. Your child can have different kind of diseases. If they are using sawiq, your child is not going to be having any kind of difficulties and diseases when he or she is born.
MashaAllah, this is a very interesting topic, and I personally have encountered some people that are concerned about marrying into the family, and then they're concerned the type of baby that might be giving birth to might have maybe genetic defects or inheritance or something like this. So this is hope for those kind of couples that are married into the family, and they can then be assured by perhaps utilizing the suggestions from the Ahlebait, from my Tyreen. Very interesting. It's a very interesting topic, and it's
inshallah,
something that
I think, Brother Hassan, we need at least 4 to 5 programs just for those couples who are planning to get pregnant, and to have child. I think if we go in later on, we will manage a program where that will be really good and effective for them as well.
Inshallah, inshallah. So moving on, Brother Ali, what is suggested for a cough, old cough in Islamic medicine?
When it comes to the different cough, some people have, they recently got this, cough, and the question was accurate as well. Some people have their cough, they have been infected by, this illness of cough, since last probably few months. It goes all the way to different, it leads to different lungs diseases as well. For that, actually, I'd like to introduce today one of those medicine, which is miracle. And if the Islami didn't had any medicine except just 4 medicine, and it was enough for us. And one of those 4 medicine is Jame Imam Raza alayhi salatu wasalam, the medicine of Jame, which belongs to Imam Raza alayhi salatu wasalam. And this is, let me tell you something about this medicine. It is so special that there's not only one hadith, there are more than nearly 10 hadiths just about this one medicine. And many people, they used to come to Imam and they used to complain that I have this disease, I have this disease. So, look at the way how Imam used to speak with them. Imam never used to tell them, go and eat this medicine in some specific places. So rather, Imam used to ask them question that don't you have the medicine of our grandfather, Imam Rida Jame, which belongs to our grandfather in your house? They used to say, no, Mawla, we don't have that medicine at our place. So Imam used to reply them, Mashhurun and the Shia. This is very famous in our Shia's community. It means this word of Imam is telling there was a time when Jame Imam Raza, the medicine of Jame Imam Raza, was very famous all around the Shia world. But unfortunately, it's not today, isn't it? So
Yes.
Imam all time used to tell them that, use that medicine. And this medicine, the beauty in this medicine is that this is just one medicine. And the medicine is not going to be changing, but the liquid or the water which you are drinking that with is going to be changing. Like for cough, Imam alayhi salatu wasalam says that if somebody had cough, it doesn't matter it's child or it's young person or he's old. Obviously, there will be a difference in dosage. He should be using this jame with the water of funnel. Get a 2 spoon of funnel and put it in 2 glass of water and boil it. And you should be boiling that so much that that 50% of water should be gone. 1 glass should be changing into 2 glass should be changing into 1 glass, and just get that 1 glass of water and remove all the funnels away and mix that little medicine of Jame Imam Raza with it and drink it before sleeping. And repeat this for 3 days. And this is one of those medicine which works and which is more powerful than antibiotics. It can remove all the infection. It can remove the cough, and it is used in different places as well. According to hadith, it has been used for healing at least, you can say, 13 to 14 diseases. But the experiment and the experiences of scholars shows you can cure 40 different diseases by just one formula of Imam Raza alayhi salatu wasalam, which is called Jame Imam Raza alayhi salatu wasalam.
Okay, we're running out of time, Brother Ali, but just a few more questions, and then I will explain our viewers what will be anticipated in the next program as well. How can we get most physical and spiritual benefit in this holy month of Ramadan? This is one question. And before you answer this question, Brother Ali, about stomach ulcers and ulcers that sometimes you get on your lips or under your tongue, are they related? And what does Islam say about this?
Yeah. Before I go further on and talk about there were obviously 2 questions, and how many minutes do we have now?
We have around 5 minutes, I would say.
Yes. 5. So what I will do, I will just focus on one of the questions that you mentioned is how we can get most of the benefit, physical and spiritual benefit from the holy month of Ramadan. And your another question, inshallah, we can talk about it in the next program. Brother, when we talk about, obviously, this lecture and this program is about physical health. And with physical health, we need the spiritual health as well in this holy month of Ramadan. People think that, if I am fasting, I might get ill, I might get weaker. The bodybuilders, the muscle builders, they think that they're going to be losing their muscles. People who are a bit ill, they think we are going to be getting more ill. I'm not saying every ill person should be fasting. Quran is saying as well, if you're ill or whatever, if you're not able to fast, okay, you shouldn't be fasting. But the good thing is, in fasting, the good news is for those people who are a little bit ill, who are having problem in their, let's say, digestive system, in any part of their body, it doesn't matter. Fasting is something which can cure all the diseases. Why? Because Rasulullah is saying, Sumu tasuhu, that fast, and because of fasting, you will get healthier. Why? And this has been proved by scientific research as well. Because if you go and search something called, I'd like to ask my young brothers and sisters and all the viewers and audience to go and just search autophagy. What is autophagy? Autophagy is a process where your cell starts eating another cells. What happened? Actually, there was a person called, Oshinori Osumi, is a Japanese researcher, and who was a winner of Nobel Prize in 2016. Why did he win that Nobel Prize? He won that Nobel Prize because of doing a good research on autophagy. And what does autophagy mean? It's a process, scientific process, where self-eating starts in the cell. He says, according to his research, because of which in 1990 he started doing this research, and he came across 2016 he got a Nobel Prize for it, Nobel Prize in medicine and physiology, all these things. So he came to he started explaining this process of autophagy. When you are not eating for 8 to 12 hours, what is happening? Your cell start eating other cells. But what type of cells are being eaten? The weak cell and the cells which have illnesses, those cells which have viruses, those cells which have bacteria, they are being eaten up by those cells which are healthy. And this is actually very beneficial for your health. And he ended up coming to the conclusion that fasting, when you're fasting for 8 to 12 hours or whatever, it can remove your cancer. It is very good for your inflammation. It is even good for your Parkinson's disease. It is even good for your dementia. People are forgetting different stuff, when the dementia starts, and it leads to the Alzheimer and different type of diseases. And at that time, there were only 20 different papers written, means in 1990, there were 20 different papers written on this topic. But now if you search different research websites and books and library, each year there are 5,000 different researches are coming into the books and into the libraries related to this subject of autophagy, and they talk about it in cancer, they talk about it to have a long life, and they talk about this process in different types of fields of medicine. And when you listen this research, and when you hear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah is saying start fasting, you will get healthier. You remember that hadith of Ali ibn Abi Talib, where Amir al-Mu'mineen used to say, Da'uka fi wa ma tabsur. Your illness is in your body and you don't see. Wa dava'uka mink wa ma tash'ur. And the cure and the cure of your diseases is again in your side. And Amir al-Mu'mineen is saying, first of all, your disease is in your body and you don't see. And your cure and healing is again in your body and you don't feel. And then Imam say that beautiful sentence, أَتَزْعَمُ أَنَّكَ جِرْمٌ صَغِيرٌ وَفِيكَ انْطَوَى الْعَالَمُ الْأَكْبَرُ. Are you thinking you are a tiny creature while the entire universe is hidden in you? And this research and all the different research which are coming, they are telling us that entire universe is hidden in human being. And the only thing we should be doing is to focus and look at those things.
MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah. These are very wise words from you, Brother Ali. And we have many questions to ask, and many questions from those answers that you have given have come up. And I'm sure our viewers also have a lot of these questions. As we said, if you have any questions, call on this number +98 905 175 0029. So, dear brothers and sisters, if you have any questions and queries, you can you can send us on on that number that I've just provided, and also you can email us. Unfortunately, at the moment there is not an email written, but I will pass the email on the next program as well. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. Molana, would you like to say any final words before we say goodbye to our viewers?
That's it. The only thing I would like to say is we should be strengthening our belief on Ahlebait alayhi salatu wasalam. As the science is developing, the world is coming to the result that what Ahlebait alayhi salatu wasalam, what Islam told us, is the final words. And why we're just waiting for I'm not rejecting the research. Why waiting for the research? Before waiting for research, we should be firming our belief on Ahlebait alayhi salatu wasalam and following them as much as possible.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.